We have another speaker for you, and I am very proud to introduce to you David Petr. He is currently the president and CEO of Central Florida Development Council, an organization charged with expanding local business and recruiting new opportunities to the area. He is a former executive director of the Winter Haven Economic Development Council and director of marketing for the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance. He has earned a master's degree at the University of Texas at Austin and a bachelor's degree from the University of Illinois, and even worked a few summers during his undergrad years, guess where? At Disney World with Mickey Mouse. He is married to his wife, Christine, and they have 4 children, Jake, Ben, Olivia, and Ava. So please welcome David Petr.
This one here? Yes, it's forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very humbling to be here today. I was asked to, thought I was being asked to attend this event, not necessarily speak at this event a few weeks ago, but when you get a call from a county commissioner, you pretty much just say yes and do what you're told. It auto-corrected on my calendar. I typed in Melanie Bell, but it changed to Mekong Bell, as if I was going to some Asian restaurant for lunch today. So I've been thinking about this as Mekong Bell for the last 5 weeks or so. As you know, I'm finishing my 5th week at the CFDC, and it's been a whirlwind experience. Margarita's here today. She's on the advisory board, I guess we call it. I have some economic development partners in the room, Jim from Lake Wales, Cindy from Haines City. We have Laura from Lakeland, and if I'm forgetting anybody else, please forgive me. You know, I'm really humbled to be here, not only because there's far smarter people in the room, but those first 2 presentations were just, you know, I couldn't enjoy them as much as I wanted to because I was thinking about what I'm going to speak about, but we're all talking about the same thing, and to see my partners in the room, our vision partners, our partners from the government, from the business community, from the education community. No one told me when I moved here about 1.5 years ago that the partners would be so strong and so committed to improve Polk County. And part of my mission at the CFDC is to create a new culture at the CFDC of open communication, of transparency, of collaboration. So I'm very excited about working with the education community. And part of preparing for today, I learned a lot how we're going to interact with education and with workforce. So this presentation's going to be a little bumpy, a little bit like Frankenstein coming together. We did a couple other things like recruiting 2 new project managers and a fiscal specialist, and I got my county badge and all kind of good stuff in the last 25 days, but I think you'll see some interesting perspectives here. A lot of people don't know how I got here today. I'm going to kind of walk around and makes it more interesting, I guess. Vanna White. But I have an advertising copyright background. I went to school. I know that many vendors did. I'll just shout at all of you. Another one? Breaking things already. You can build that to the CFDC. Test, test. All right, we're back. I started out as a copywriter in school. I went to the University of Illinois in advertising. I went to UT as spoken about in advertising as well. Got out of school as a copywriter. I worked for Continental Airlines and Papa John's Pizza, and I wrote headlines and TV commercials and radio spots, and I was always looking to tell the story. Wow, it's so weird, that echo, it's so strange. So I started an ad agency in 1999 in Austin, and had a good run. It was the dot-com boom. Technology was rocking and rolling in Austin. It was I really couldn't fail. Clients wanted to spend a lot of money on marketing, even if they didn't have a product or service or a website. They wanted to buy print ads, a logo, 2 TV spots, and a tagline. They spent $100,000 to do it. So there'd be even times where we went online to learn more about the stuff we were advertising, and the product didn't even exist yet, but they wanted to market it. So I had a great run, had much success, but grew really disenfranchised with marketing because I was focused on selling a soft taco or a condominium or a computer chip or a mutual fund. When a client out of Lubbock, Texas came to us and wanted us to work on a workforce development campaign, and sorry I'm not going through my PowerPoint just yet, but this is the softer side of Dave, I guess. And it's the first time in my career again that I was excited about marketing and being strategic and being creative. We were working on a campaign that was going to bring a better quality of life to people in West Texas. And it hasn't been since then that I've really thought about education's role in economic development, but as you'll see in my presentation today, it really is either the number 1 or number 2 most important factors in business expansion and relocation. I'm going to grab the clicker now and we're going to get more formal. There's a major delay from when I speak to when you hear it. It's quite interesting. Okay, I am in a really tough position here. I'm in between really the star, 2 presenters, and lunch. And this is really the funniest slide, so you got to enjoy it. And look at that smorgasbord of food there. You should have seen it out there. You might think there's box lunches out there, but it looks like some good stuff. So I know everybody's hungry. Everybody needs a break. We got some laughs back there. That's good. So I'll keep this pretty efficient and quick. And there's my bald head. Could they have not zoomed in more on my bald head on that flyer? Okay. I have more hair than that, right? Okay. So when you think about how we tell our story in economic development, if we're believing this is a marketing proposition, we talk about our highway accessibility. We talk about I-4, our proximity to the ports, proximity to the Orlando, Tampa airport. We talk about infrastructure, stuff like technology and servers and medical equipment and agriculture machinery. We talk about available land, citrus groves, new blueberries being planted. We talk about available buildings, hospitals, clinics. But in reality, the most important thing is the people that we can offer our businesses. And you gotta love stock photography. Is that the cheesiest shot you've ever seen in your whole life? Serious, do we wear coveralls at the construction site and hold the level just like that? I guess so. But it really is, as you'll see in this presentation, consistently ranked 1, 2, or 3 as far as a priority of site selectors and consultants. Okay, so our ability to succeed is our ability to prosper is related to the ability for us to retain and develop knowledgeable workers. It goes without saying, as I'm working on this presentation, a lot of this is fairly no-brainer, but the quality of our people will affect our growth. Competition for skilled workers is stronger than ever. Workers are even leaving the country for opportunities. Skill sets are constantly changing. As you guys know, there's a skills gap between what available workers offer and what employers need. Savvy economic developers, and I'd love to think of myself as being savvy. I like that. I'm a savvy guy. I'm becoming more savvier. I'm trying to align myself and my team with other partners in the education, government, and business space so we can align our missions. Goes without saying, but not only when you have a great worker, you can find that worker, you can hire that worker quicker, you're going to get better performance, you're going to reduce your turnover, you're going to have better morale, fewer errors, shortened training periods. Again, pretty straightforward stuff. I looked at some of my statistics, and they seem to match with the superintendent's statistics, so I'm happy that our research is fairly in line. Pretty good. Again, we were busy the first 5 weeks, but we're looking to create about 55 million job openings by 2020. 24 million will be new positions, 31 million will be because of the retiring baby boomers. We feel that the industries that will be hiring will be STEM careers, healthcare, and community services. And when I say we mean Georgetown University Center on Education. 65% of these jobs will require post-secondary education, which we covered earlier this morning. High school education will not be enough for most of these jobs, and those graduates will need a bachelor's degree, certification, or some type of additional training. What kind of skills will we need? Will we need less of physical skills, more cognitive skills. And as you guys are doing, very good active listening. I do appreciate that. 48% of jobs will require that very same skill set you're demonstrating. Other skills coveted will be leadership, communication, analytics, and administration. And I'm going to also blame Allegra on the need to drink, but it's more just drinking 2 cups of coffee, so I'm going to take a break. Thought the Allegra joke would go over pretty good. Can't win them all. So we found an interesting top 10 list from the Department of Economic Opportunity specific to Florida of what careers are in demand today and through 2020. And as you can read and enjoy the cheesy stock photography, it looks like it's registered nurses, accountants and auditors, elementary, secondary, or middle school teachers, management analysts, sounds like a fun job, computer support specialists, thank you for the support on my presentation, sales representatives in highly technical industries, some good pay there if you want to encourage your kids to get into that area. Human resources, labor relations, and training specialists, construction managers, computer system analysts, and recreation workers. I can give you a copy of this presentation, but most require a bachelor's degree at a minimum, some certification, but again, that need to have that higher education. I love these vector images of the sassy economic developers standing like that with their reflection. Look at it with their foot up like that. That's pretty good. All the site selectors I do business with look like this when I meet them at the airport, just so you know. Like, where's Dave Petr? This was introduced to me a few years ago by a colleague of mine in Texas, this summary, and I brought about 10 copies with me today if you guys want one. But Area Development Magazine, who's been in business for 60 years or so, that covers site selection topics, once a year produces a summary of what either a site selector consultant, someone who works on behalf of a company, or what a company owner sees are the priorities of their business being able to relocate or expand. And I want to kind of tell you who these people are so you understand who the perspective is from, because some of the findings that you'll hear from aren't me shooting from the hip, but again, as you talked about your appreciation of intelligence and research, I think this is a pretty good understanding of where the economy is going in economic development, and also their priorities for workforce and education. So for this specific 2012 survey, we had 200 respondents, mostly from manufacturing companies, 40%, 10% from construction, another 9% from logistics, distribution, warehousing, fairly similar to the makeup of Polk County, maybe a little heavy in manufacturing. 40% of the people who responded are heads of their companies, and 22% are the financial or corporate officers. 46% and another 38% influence the decision to either move their company or expand their company. So this group are the people who own the business, not necessarily the people who represent businesses. So this is Jane Q and John Q, business owner, who are considering their business growth. They feel that 50% of this group feel that the economy is not going to improve until 2015 or 2016. Because of this slow recovery in our economy, they're going to put their new facility plans on hold. 13% will reduce their employment. Another 18% will defer hiring any additional workers. Half have no plans to expand facilities at their current location, where only 35% expect to expand over the next 2 years. I'm going to walk to this side just for dramatic effect. Like that? It's good, huh? More than 80% say that their expansion plans will create fewer than 100 jobs. A few of the reasons for their lack of expansion and workforce expansion as well is uncertainty with U.S. tax rates, concern about healthcare regulations, and the general economy. There's that sassy picture again. So this next slide is really my favorite. So if you look at what are the top things that drive the decisions to expand or relocate, this is what they find are the top 25. And I'm going to kind of go backwards because everybody talks about the same thing in economic development. They talk about highway accessibility, they talk about available land, they talk about their ports, they talk about their rail, they talk about this quality of life. But if we were to move backwards, as economic developers, I need to talk less about railroad service at 24. I need to talk less about the Orlando and Tampa airports at 21. I need to talk less about the available land, about how Polk County is so massive and has all of this opportunity to grow. I need to talk less about how our permitting process is fast and efficient, or about our financing options. I need to do less about incentives. How many things have we read about incentives in our newspaper lately? Move all the way up to the top. Our availability of skilled labor is number 3. Our highway accessibility is number 2, and our labor cost is number 1. And those are all fairly close in their rankings. I don't know if you can see the numbers there. I've seen that availability of skilled labor be number 2 and be number 1. It's consistently in the top 3. So if we were going to do an ad for Polk County today and we wanted to bring a new business, it'd be a picture of I-4 and some workers, or 27 or 17 or Polk Parkway. So just as I said from that last slide, labor costs and highway accessibility are the top-ranked factors. They feel 90% feel it's important or very important. The availability of skilled labor is ranked number 3 by nearly 90% of respondents, ranking it very important or important. Another one that's relevant to this group is the proximity of technical college and training. It made a move of 10% over the previous year. As well as training programs increased as well to number 20. I like that shot there, given the, what is it, it's a CPR. And I was thinking that was the Heimlich. No, that's the CPR. Yeah, no one choke at lunch. It is a smorgasbord. You did see the slide at the beginning, right? There's some good stuff out there. This one was one of those sobering slides that I wanted to have a little bit earlier. But 68% of people or business owners feel that although there are incredibly high employment rates and there's a lot of available workers, that's not making it any easier for them to find the people they need. And that has to do with that skills gap of not being able to match up what employees' talents have to offer and what businesses demand. Nearly 40% feel that the people they are interviewing are lacking basic reading and math skills. And 75% feel that those employed population are lacking advanced skills that they require. So although we have availability, we don't have the right people. People always talk about, well, wow, Polk County has an amazing quality of life and an amazing climate. But when you look at what those quality of life factors are that drive decisions, it really comes down to your safety, your health, and your education. So number one being low crime rate, number two being health care, a tie for third being housing. The new fourth place or fifth place is the rating of the public schools. I just said that one. An apple on a book and a diploma on some books. That's good. So as we're rebuilding the new CFDC, it's important that I communicate and my team communicates with the education community about what we're doing and what we're promoting. And there's some natural assets that Polk County has that we feel we need to promote. At the CFDC, we're promoting 4 clusters. At the Winter Haven EDC, we promoted 6. But at the end of the day, there's really, I believe, 6 core industries that are a great fit for Polk County. That is not only because of our human capital, because of the people we have, but because of our location, our highway accessibility, a lot of those top rankings. The first one being logistics, supply and chain management, distribution, obviously with our I-4 corridor, our geographic location, the CSX intermodal facility. You'll see a lot of this type of jobs coming to Polk County in the next few decades. Medical services, healthcare is obviously going to be a fit for Polk County. There's Dr. Pericottle doing his robotic surgery. As well as our history and future in agriculture and agribusiness, technology around agriculture. And then other technology like information technology, data storage, our Lambda rail and our high-speed internet running through our county. This usually is the very first slide of my presentation, but it ends up being the last one of this one. Because part of me being here today is telling you a little bit more about what we're doing at the CFDC. And there's a lot of re-education that has to happen. We're going through a culture change, just as we're looking to align our education resources. We're realigning how we do economic development in the county. And everything that I want our team to do should be under the framework of 3 things. And we've talked about it this morning. That's what's so great about today, is that we're all talking from the same playbook. And that is first to be smarter about the decisions we're making, ask better questions. That's that intelligence piece. Use data and resources and the intellectual capital of Polk County to better understand our challenges and our opportunities. And then we need to become involved, and I love the word alignment. Doug Lockwood introduced that to me just about 8 months or so. But we're all advocating for basically the same stuff, but we're all doing it in our silos. And like you said, it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just that we're all very focused and determined to do it our way, and we're passionate in our own disciplines. But we all need to advocate for similar things and become aligned and not duplicate our efforts. And then part of my true fun, my enjoyment in my career is after you've asked those right questions, after you've determined what those directions are, after you've learned what you need to advocate and you're working together as teams, then you tell that story and you inspire people about, for us, why you need to be in Polk County, to either stay and expand your business or to bring your business here for that quality of life and that prosperity you'll have. It's an open invitation for me and my staff. Margarita's here. We're hiring 3 additional people. Albert is back at the office. We're a growing team, but it's an open invitation from all of us that we're open communicators. We want to partner. We see the strength in our organization being aligned with the education partners here in the room and beyond. So please feel free to reach out to me today and beyond for anything we can do to fuel your efforts. So thank you and enjoy lunch.